You know that moment when you leave the movie theater after seeing a movie, and you really want to tell someone about that movie? These are those moments.
Hey everyone, we just saw Jackie, the Jackie Kennedy biopic. That I guess we call it a biopic because it's not her whole life, but it's about a chunk of Jackie Kennedy's life after the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
I was really interested in seeing this movie when I first saw the trailer for it.
Ooh, it was so freaking intense. She's in the freaking shower, washing the freaking blood off of herself. I'm like, damn, girl.
So anyway, as I was saying,
Before I rudely interrupted.
Yeah, exactly. I was very interested in seeing this movie when I first saw the trailer. I used to be a big history buff, and I was really into the Kennedy assassination. So to have a movie from a point of view which you don't really see, which is from the point of view of the wife, Jackie Kennedy. Everybody talks about people who were there or Kennedy leading up to it, but you don't really talk about the aftermath of what his wife went through. And obviously it's a very traumatic experience, not just to see your husband die in front of you, but to have his brains literally exploding on your face, his blood all over your dress, parts of his brain and his skin just all over you. So first of all, I mean, the main thing here, I think, is Natalie Portman's performance. And maybe for Rebecca it was very irking because Jackie Kennedy has a very, like, one of those weird 60s voices where she sounds like she's half a person and half like a robot and half like...
I happen to love the way people spoke, 50 to 60 years ago, but...
So I thought...
I don't know about this.
Regardless of what you say about her voice, I thought Natalie Portman did a really good job touching on the intonalities of her voice and just her as a person. I thought she did a really good job. Now, overall, the movie kind of focuses on a very short span of time. It's not like going through her whole life or anything. Like Rebecca said before, it's mainly going through those few days, maybe weeks, not more than weeks after Kennedy was assassinated. And it kind of just shows you the whole character of Jackie Kennedy. She's kind of like, I mean, I don't know what most people think of her when they look back in history. She's known for her fashion and everything, but she's a very weird human being. Like, it's not what you would think, just like a regular first lady crying about her husband who was just killed.
No offense, Jackie. We love you.
This is very, I don't know if quirky is the right word or what the right word. Not even quirky, just very,
I would say she's, I think she has like an inner artist, right? Artists are weird, let's be honest. I'm an artist myself. I'm freaking weird.
Yeah, so Jackie Kennedy was very involved with really touching up the White House. That was one of the plot points, is that she, when they first became president, she was very into, like, getting new furniture and new stuff into the White House and very into the history.
We could have bought a painting.
Very, into...
That was my favorite line of the movie, by the way.
Into this stuff. So I really did enjoy the movie. I thought they did a great job of creating that 60s atmosphere of, like, setting the mood of that time period. Everybody was kind of, things were really crazy after Kennedy was assassinated, and they really touched in the little parts with the new transition of government and all. They really showed the fear of the American people in that moment. But what they also showed was Jackie's perseverance in kind of trying to maintain her husband's legacy, which was really important to her. As it was seen throughout the film, she really wanted even his funeral to be like a parade. Even everybody was warning her that, like, why would you want to have a parade with a motorcade after what just happened in Dallas? And it really just kind of showed, what she wanted the legacy for her husband to be and what she wanted to be remembered for as well. So, in that sense, I would say they did a really good job with setting up the character and setting up the scenes. Now, I won't say it's a perfect movie, because I did think at parts it ran a little bit slow, and there was some, like, unnecessary repetition, I felt like.
Yeah.
There was some, like... The movie only runs about an hour and 38 minutes, which for, like, a historical biopic isn't really that long, I don't think. Like most historical drama picks like that, I would think would run a little bit longer. This only ran an hour and 38 minutes, and it felt like it could have been maybe an hour and 15 even. So I thought maybe because it was such a specific time period that they didn't have enough to go on, but I feel like they probably could have put in or found some more important things to do, because while there were really important moments in the film, touching on like specific moments that happened right after the assassination, there were also some moments that were just kind of like there that I probably won't even remember. So those were some of the holes with it, I guess I would say.
Yeah. I thought it was slow at times as well. Sometimes I was like, why are we seeing this scene? But I'm sure there was a purpose. Maybe I missed it. I thought it was really sweet to have, basically the thing that Jackie wants throughout this movie is to keep the legacy of the Kennedys. And yeah, I could feel that, but I wanted more. There wasn't enough. I wanted to really like know, who is this woman? Like, who is she? And even the other people, like Bobby Kennedy was in it, and we had some flashbacks of President Kennedy, but it was very much like what we know of the Kennedys. It's very mysterious, very exterior. We only see certain things and the rest will never be known. In fact, she even says to the journalist that's interviewing her in the film,
"You won't allow me to write any of that."
No. Because I never said that.
What else can I say? JFK Jr. freaking rocked. The little child was freaking cute.
One thing that I think should be touched upon, especially with like historical figures, especially because JFK was a young man, shot in the kind of the prime of his life. And I think one thing movies tend to do, which I don't like, but sometimes they try to like completely salvage the legacy by not mentioning any of the bad things people do, which is one thing I appreciate in this movie. Even though it was only mentioned maybe once or twice, they did mention JFK's infidelities with Marilyn Monroe and other people.
I loved that inner resentment. I did see that inner resentment that she had against him. I thought that was very real. A lot of times, especially when somebody who's in the limelight, when they die, we only, like you said, we only see them for their good and everything, and we kind of forget the bad things, and that they were human too, and they did things that maybe they shouldn't have, that hurt the people around them, and I appreciated that. And it wasn't overkill either. They didn't make it this big like romantic drama or anything. Jackie was very much the focus. It wasn't the relationship.
Right, and they kind of showed like a different side of Jackie, because a lot of the time she is focused on like preserving her husband's legacy and making sure that everyone like thinks of him and remembers him as a great president and a great person. But then like in her moments of either talking to herself or talking to a priest, this movie focuses on like Jackie's life and flashbacks, her conversations with a journalist who's writing an article about her after her husband died, and then her talks with a priest who she's talking to moments before her husband's funeral. And some of the moments with the priest is where she really kind of delved into like this other side of her, like her as known as like the Kennedys were the first Catholic family in the White House, and so far the only non-Protestant families that ever took the White House, and kind of telling her priest how she's questioning God after her husband's assassination and all the dangers of that, and questioning like even like what, like how she really felt about her husband. But then like her outer moments of like saying like to the priest, which is like how a lot of people kind of tell their like deepest, darkest thoughts sometimes, and that's kind of what Jackie does in this film for parts of it. I will say, out of a 1 to 5 rating, I will give it a 4 out of 5, and the reason I say that is because I would say for probably about 80% of the movie I was fully engaged, really looking in depth into her character and what was happening. Maybe for 20% of the movies I was kind of like, oh, what's going on, blah blah blah. If you're into history, I would say you'd probably enjoy this film for the mistakes. If you're not really into history,
Probably not.
You might not. You might want to skip it if you're not really into history. I would kind of relate it a little bit to, in terms of like a historical biopic, a little bit to Trumbo, which was, I guess, last year.
See that?
Just focusing on like a one character. I would say Trumbo was a little bit better. It was a little bit more to it. She feels bad because she's gonna hurt Natalie Portman's feelings.
Okay, Natalie, I really respect you as an actor, and I respect the people that made this film. I give it a 3 out of 5. I just, I wasn't as connected as I wanted to be. I really went into it with high expectations. And, you know, I wanted more, and maybe we don't have more. We can't make things up about her life that didn't happen or things we didn't know.
So basically, Rebecca is saying she wanted Jackie Kennedy to have an affair with Marilyn Monroe, and there to be like some epic Carol lesbian scene.
That's a twist.
That would be more.
Says the person who gave Fences a 3.5. That was a 5-star film.
Okay.
So that's it. Let us know what you thought of Jackie if you happen to see it. Let us know what other films you're thinking about this Oscar season.
Lion!
We haven't seen Lion yet. But yeah, let us know what you're thinking in the comments, and stay tuned for next time. Movies on the Move for loud, quiet bits.